best team in the East. Show they say, oh boy. Show they say. The Spurs stand on business. Wembanyama, 38 points, 16 rebounds, 5 blocks, going bananas on them. Spurs put on a highlight reel, old boy. What? What is going on here?
Is Wembanyama's Detroit Pistons daddy? Is Victor Wembanyama in the San Antonio Spurs the Detroit Pistons Faja? I am your Faja. I am your Faja. Listen, man. Just saying.
He ain't do that on the Knicks. That didn't happen in New York. That ain't happen at the Garden. I saw, they say cat is a cat. Cat look like a dog against that croissant. Oh, boy. Hold on. I got to be fair because you're not going to be fair. It's my job to be flea a little bit today. Let's not go crazy. Oh, maybe let's do. What were the Detroit Pistons stats looking like? What was Kid Cunningham doing, Mr. MVP himself? 10 of 26, 26 points, as many shots as points, 4-7 from 3. Oh, 5 fouls, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Oh boy, 29 points for De'Aaron Fox, by the way. Where are we at with this? Because the Pistons, they're making it seem like beating New York was a championship all 3 times. They're forgetting that there's a process here. They told us we were crazy because we said regular season is cool. And yes, this is a regular season game against the Spurs, but this is their barometer. They're the ones saying, we smacked y'all. Well, Spurs smacking them. And they're a championship contender by most of anybody's account. What are your thoughts right now on the Cade, the Pistons, and all that, and where everything stands as far as championship goes?
Well, first and foremost, Darlene Bryant is in the building. The beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant, the sexy, the exquisite, the elegant. Darlene Bryant is in the building. Mo is in the building. The ladies at AllBall TV is in the building. Am I looking good? Am I sounding good? Big shout out to the whole chat. Please, y'all, hit that like button. I'm going to repeat again. Y'all get us now twice. Y'all get lives now twice. We need y'all to support the afternoon lives exactly how y'all support Knicks Rehab. But Fabian, for me, you know, the hate for the Knicks is so serious that people are going to ignore when Detroit Pistons are struggling. Where's Stephen A. Smith now with all that being fearful and afraid of the Detroit Pistons? Where's he at? Where's all the networks, all the people that talk about how dominating the Detroit Pistons is? Where are they at? Why would we not panic? They just lost back-to-back games. They lost to Cleveland, and now you get your boot smoked by the San Antonio Spurs. When the Knicks lose 2 games in a row, we got to blow the whole team up. If I'm not mistaken, last night, did the Detroit Pistons look like they had a whole bunch of C and D players? Let it marinate. I'm going to ask again, but I want y'all to let that marinate. Because when our Knicks look bad, I keeps it all the way real. But I remember someone saying, after Cade Cunningham and probably Duren, all the niggas over there is average. And everybody telling that person he don't know what he's talking about. But now we have reports and people out there saying, you shut down Cade. Everybody. Regular weed. This is why no one is afraid of the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, you can own us in the regular season. It's fine. But when people start talking about championship contention, when now you telling me Cade Cunningham is the lead candidate for MVP, as if Ant-Man and Jaylen Brown isn't in the league doing what they're doing. Now, granted, great basketball team, the Detroit Pistons. I love their coach. I love their coaching style. I love their style of basketball. But When you can't beat one team, because let's be for real, San Antonio owns Detroit. Oh, so just how Detroit may own us in the regular season, are we going to ignore how the Spurs own the Detroit Pistons? And how when they play the Spurs, they all look regular? Why do we ignore that? Like I said, they just lost back-to-back games to potential contenders. Cleveland Cavaliers, potential contenders. San Antonio, potential contenders. Where's the same smoke for our Knicks that y'all should have for the Detroit Pistons? They looked terrible last night. And for you to not be able to stop Victor Wembanyama and we have a field day with him, come on now. Come on now. So for me, you know, it's funny that you don't see nobody ranting and raving on ESPN or all these other networks or all on these podcasts. Because when they beat us, they the most dangerous, toughest team in the world. But when they get embarrassed, it's crickets out here. We've been saying on Knicks rehab forever. We ain't worrying about y'all niggas. I told you, if it's up to me, I wish we could tank so we could get y'all in the first round. I don't want to duck no smoke. I don't want you niggas to lose to Charlotte or Orlando or Miami. No. I don't want to duck no smoke. If I could tank and our Knicks play y'all, that's what I want. And I've been saying that. But for me, Detroit Pistons having a great season, but everybody needs to slow down. Like Flea says, cool your booties. Having a great season. But where's the criticism at, Fabian? Are you not concerned that, like I said, if the Knicks gets blown out by OKC Thunder, people will be going berserk? Where's the Detroit Pistons fans at? This is back-to-back losses. Where they at? They usually flood the comment section. All the Piston glazing, where's it been at? Where's it been at? So for me, listen, it's comical, but like I said, this Pistons team, while y'all worrying about us, ain't nobody worrying about y'all. Ain't nobody scared of y'all. And y'all starting to get exposed. A lot of those players, besides Cade and Duren, fatigue starts to set in. Who you really are starts to set in. Tobias Harris ain't like that. You see what he be doing when they win? Puffing his chest out, celebrating. Bro, them niggas ain't like that. So for me, I just want everybody, including podcasts, analysts, networks, keep the same energy. If the Pistons is the best team, y'all great. Y'all, some say in the NBA. When they lose, where's the criticism at? Where's the breakdown? So for me, this is why we've been saying it. Ain't nobody worrying about y'all niggas. And we right on y'all heels.
And let's not forget the hyperbole machine was on it, AllBall. But just some big names somehow are missing from this Detroit loss. So they got Chris Canty talking about the Pistons?
To the question, right? Cade Cunningham is everything that they have on the offensive side of the ball. And if you shut him down, you shut them down, right? They don't have enough firepower. And we knew that coming into this season, some of the things that have happened around that team from a roster standpoint, they were going to be struggling, especially when it came to perimeter shooting. And so I think when it comes to the Detroit Pistons, they're the team that you use as the example of in terms of making sure that you don't skip steps. I understand they had the heartbreak last year, first round against the New York Knicks, but they're a team that feels like they have to go through the progression and have more shots at playoff runs before they actually break through. It doesn't feel like that with the San Antonio Spurs. So, yeah, I like what Cade has done. I think he's deserving to be in the conversations that he's in right now. But they don't feel like a team that has enough firepower offensively, enough guys that can just be proven bucket getters when it comes to playoff-style basketball, when it comes to being able to create shots for themselves and others. They don't have enough of that element on their roster outside of.
Well said, fake-ass flea. AllBall, we've been saying this from the moment the Pistons thing was rolling. Yes, Cade Cunningham was an MVP candidate, but we knew we would struggle when all our dogs went down and everyone doubted championship contention when Randall went down and OG went down. And that's one of the flaws for the Pistons. Yo, when it's playoff time, you're gonna need a bucket. We know Cade could get a bucket, but he's also got some flaws. Everybody got flaws. If they if the playoff defenses start picking them up playoff style, what's gonna happen? And the Spurs got a bunch of dogs out there on the perimeter. So I definitely understand what you're saying. I don't like Stephen A. Smith all of a sudden not, he's pulling off the Houdini when the Pistons lose to a championship contender. It's not a regular loss. And the Hornets, who we'll get to later, on a roll. Where they at?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think, the Pistons, let's be for real. And this is why I laugh, because you got to remember, if the Pistons don't beat our Knicks, they are not relevant. The Pistons' whole being relevant is because of us, attached to us, the Knicks. Let's make that clear. Pistons fans, I love you. I told you I got people in Detroit, great city, excuse me. But let's be for real. The Detroit Pistons are popping because of their connection with the New York Knicks. They made this personal, not us. The Pistons made this personal against the Knicks, right? But also, they caught the NBA by surprise. How many times have we said when teams start out and have a great season, how, okay, wow, we ain't noticed, or you catch a guys by surprise, right? But now, the second half of the season here, where it really matters, where it really counts, teams are dialing in and focusing. And when you think about it, I've been said it. After Cade Cunningham, who are you worrying about scoring the ball? Duren? Tobias Harris? I'm just saying, if we're talking basketball, that's going to hurt you in the playoffs. It just is. We cannot ignore the whistle the Pistons get, the officiating that goes their way. Like I said, it doesn't take away from Cade Cunningham having an MVP season. But when they lose, the way that they lose, like last night, and then you lost to Cleveland, how can we ignore that? When the Knicks lose to good teams, we all over them. How can we ignore that? So for me, I just feel like Detroit hasn't done anything for them to be getting the praise that they've been getting. For guys like Stephen A., who's supposed to be a Knicks fan, to just basically give up. Talk about you're afraid for your life and all this crazy mess. And granted, if my memory, we beat the Pistons in the playoffs. Right? Now, I understand Cade took his game to another level, but why are we giving the benefit of the doubt? Games like last night should prove to some people why the Knicks aren't worried about the Detroit Pistons. And real analysts break down the game, who actually watch the game, you have to go off that experience. Who has the more experience? Who has the guys that been in that moment? We have the guys. So for me, I think the Detroit Pistons, this season is a great season. Like I said, if they make it to the second round or to the conference finals, that's a successful season. I don't understand how people, really have them championship contention. They are playing championship contention basketball. I give you that. But if you telling me who would I pick in a 7-game series between them and us, between them and the Cleveland Cavaliers, even if you have a fully healthy 76ers team, you telling me all of those, the Pistons is favorite? Why? So I just love when people keep it real. Like I said, we can't just only keep it real about our Knicks. We know the hate on our Knicks, right? We fine with that. But like I said, I think Detroit Pistons is going to be in real big trouble. And yes, if Jason Tatum comes back and he's fully healthy, he can play at the level that we know he can play at, that's another team, right, that the Pistons have to deal with. So while you worried about us, you better hope you play us since you're that confident. But I'm not that confident as a basketball fan that if the Pistons play the Cavaliers, that I'm just automatically taking Detroit. No. So for me, Detroit is starting to get exposed a little bit. Yes, it's only 2 games they lost back-to-back. But for me, Cade Cunningham, yes, MVP caliber player. But all those other guys, you can't tell me that you're going to trust them in the playoffs. I just can't see it, Fabian. I'm not trusting Tobias Harris and all those other guys when other teams have bona fide superstars and guys that played at that level on that stage for the last couple seasons. I just don't see it.
And with something to prove. Donovan Mitchell has something to prove. Jason Tatum now coming back has something to prove. Everybody's trying to make it something, which is what the media does. The Cavaliers, always going to be a question mark for me till playoff time, but they're in the same division as the Pistons. You don't want to show them any flaws. You don't want the Spurs or any other team to show the Cavaliers a blueprint who have already reportedly said, yo, we ain't worried about the Pistons, which is crazy because y'all ain't done shit. But they have shown us last year you could have the best record in the regular season. You could be Smoke City for half the season, and all of a sudden start some chinks in the arm and start to show. And the other thing is, this is a championship contender in the Spurs that smacked up the Pistons, along with the fact that the Celtics are now getting back that Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown championship duo. They're 5 games behind the Pistons. Do they need the number 1 seed? Do the Pistons need the number 1 seed with the likes of the Celtics and the Knicks starting to come around? Maybe they'll figure this out. They haven't been there before. Even holding down the number 1 seed thing is not a championship, but it's something. So if you can hold it down to the playoffs, it'll mean something. But if you lose it and the Celtics persevere, that's gonna be another team that you didn't think was gonna come back and try to win a chip this year. And again, you haven't done it. And the Spurs haven't done it either. That's why was it this guy that just Chris Canty that said the Spurs look like what the Pistons are, and it's like, yo, homeboy, Spurs ain't do shit either. Like, let's slow down. They're both in the same realm. The Knicks have a chance at the point. Knicks have a chance to come back when you're supposed to be the team. Forget about the beginning of the year. We're talking about the middle of the year when you guys were celebrating the Knicks champion, the Garden Championship. Y'all talk about us with the NBA Cup. You guys were going crazy in the comments, crazy around the world. And the reason why Stephen A. Smith is important for him to come out and say something, whoever said that in the comments, is because who goes viral on ESPN for saying anything?
Facts.
He's the guy that echoes and makes and puts the volume up on any subject matter. And he had nothing to say about this. And he has 13 shows. So Stephen A. Smith, one more time for you. We don't care about you, but stay there. Stay over there. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.